Gen X okay? No, seriously, are you guys okay?
Call it the forgotten generation. I mean, that makes me sad, but it's true. Now, the reason why Gen X is so proud of their generation is because we feel like we survived. We made it through sort of unscathed, but there's other generations that look at us like we're crazy. And the reason why is, well, because of this. The first list, apocalyptic global doom. You see, when we were growing up as kids, our parents and our school teachers and the news media, they like to scare the shit out of us. First one on the list, the ozone is disappearing because of hairspray or gas-powered cars or whatever, but there was a giant hole in the ozone layer, and well, not even sunscreen could save you. And as scary as the hole in the ozone layer was, it didn't come close to the fear that I had about the killer bees that were moving up from South America to North America. At the age of 8, I clearly remember thinking to myself, I only had a few good years left because, well, all the killer bees were gonna fly up north and sting me to death. I was able to breathe a sigh of relief until I found out about all the quicksand that was around me. Didn't matter where you lived, backyard, front yard, side yards, they all had quicksand. And believe me, the movies that I used to watch, if you stepped in quicksand, you were done. Unless you had a really good friend with a very long tree branch, and you might survive. But I figured I shouldn't really worry about the quicksand as much as the Halley's Comet that's gonna get me. But as cool and beautiful as it was, well, we couldn't get away from the fact that it was also dangerous because there was a lot of radiation that it was gonna spew out and giant chunks were going to fall to Earth. Yeah, if you're my age or around my age, which is 47, I guarantee you heard of Y2K. But long story short, the entire Earth was going to shut down and all the nuclear arsenals were going to be released. But the one thing that definitely got us was all the overpopulation by the year 2000. Scientists warned us that, well, there's gonna be too many people and we weren't gonna be able to produce enough crops to feed all those people. But now today they're saying there's not enough people and I don't know. That was nothing compared to the AIDS pandemic. I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a crappy time in our history and a lot of people really did go through a lot of things, but some of the stuff that were coming out, it just freaked a lot of people out. But actually, I'm surprised that the AIDS were able to survive with that Chernobyl nuclear fallout that was supposed to spread across the ocean into the United States, Canada, and South America and wipe us all out. But if AIDS and Chernobyl and all those other things I mentioned didn't get you, mad cow disease was. Yep, that was a big thing. I heard it from my grandparents. I heard it from a lot of my friends talking about, yep, there was fire out in the woods the other night and people were gathered around a circle wearing sheep faces and horns. I've never seen that, but they were there. But a lot of this stuff was just stuff you were hearing on the news, but what about the local stranger danger? Holy hell, was that a thing back in the 80s and the 90s? I guess this may have happened. I think it was an urban legend that some kid found a razor blade or something in her Snicker bar, and that set off mass hysteria. You literally couldn't eat a piece of candy from your bag until you took it to the local ER and got it x-rayed.